Oh, let's see. Here, publish your broadcast. It's probably over here. Let's see if I can find it on my channel. Let's see. Yes, there I am. All right. All right. Just trying to get in the swing of things. Hey, Vicky. How are you, sweetie? Nice to see you. Let me just get things adjusted here. Sorry about the camera tonight. It's too hot to muck around with hyper adjusting things. Let me see if I can make that a little bigger there. Hey, Kay. We're trying to get live. I don't have many lights on because of the excessive heat. Thank you. It's great to be home. A lot to talk about tonight. All right. There we are. I know the lighting is just crazy tonight here. Politov, hello. How are you? Vicky, nice to see you. Noreen, welcome, honey. Push that over a little bit. Kay Bridgman, hello, almost Uber. Jennifer P, Tammy Collar, hi Watch, how are you? There's music playing, can't hear you. Okay, let me mute the YouTube side. Shouldn't hear any music playing. Not this is not today about okay. And my teacher's birthday. Wow. All right. Can you still hear music playing, or is it all right? Glad you're safe. All good. Okay. Thank you. Sorry about the color here on the cam tonight. I just don't want to mess around. New to your channel. These are. Hey, Rich. How you doing? Chris. Nice to see you. I liked your video. No corn at the McDonald's. That was good. You always put a smile on my face. Hello, Politov. These are uh, vintage uh, stereo amplifiers and tube amplifiers and things like that behind me. Their music, really enjoyed the trip. It's damn hot in Vegas, I'll tell you what. We're going to tear into that a little bit here. Hello, Lolly. If I missed anybody, apologies. Julia, welcome aboard. Welcome to the channel. Thank you very much. Good to have you aboard, and thank you for coming in. It's good to see Rich down there. I love the way you do those titles. I'm looking at like no corn in North Carolina, and it's like coin. Oh, North Carolina. Hello, Arizona Dreaming. How are you? Nice to see you. I have one too, a Yamaha. Cool. Yeah, Yamahas are wonderful, wonderful build quality. Hello, Debbie. Nice to see you. Got High Watch here on the high desert. Welcome home after I left about after getting gas and doing my little 7-Eleven video, putting that together. Um, I got on the road about 7:30. 7:30 and about 4:30 I pulled in here. I made a stop in outside of Bakersfield, and the weather was just incredible. Some funny thing happened on the way home too. I got to tell you about. Hey, Ninth Element, how are you? Hello, Hop Frog. Thank you. It is great to be home. A few things to talk about. The violent weather, which is rare here, and I want to wrap up Las Vegas and some of my lessons learned this time down in Las Vegas, as well as outline some of what's going to happen for the balance. We still have over a full month of traditional summer. First, yeah, so good to see you, everybody. First of all, I want to tell you, at about 4 o'clock this morning, evidently, from what I can see from the news clips on the various locals, the news out of San Francisco, this area here, hello Chicos, this area here was hit by very violent weather last night. And if you know anything about the Bay Area, summers are generally clear, sunny. They can be hot up here in wine country, but last night was really freaky, unusual. We had a collision of a moist air mass coming into that desert heat, and it triggered very violent weather last night. And if you have a chance to see some of the clips, it was phenomenal. They had clocked 70-mile-an-hour winds here, so I have a lot of things down on the rancho as a result of that wind. And I think there were something like over 10,000 lightning strikes last night. Some areas got a little smattering of raindrops, and other areas it was just dry, dry lightning strikes. But it started a lot of fires around the Bay Area. And when I came over the hills, how you doing, Jan? Hey, Bub D. When I came over the hill, 1:30 in Death Valley today, what I do is when I leave Las Vegas, I go south all the way to Barstow. Then I have to come across Route 58, California 58, from Barstow to scoots around Bakersfield, and it comes out and it connects to I-5. And then you come north on I-5. So effectively, you have to do a V. You have to go south about 140 miles, 150 miles, and then go west and then come north. And when you get to the Bay Area, outside of the Bay Area, hi Missy, hi Cheryl, how are you? When you get to the Bay Area, hi Leisure. If I missed anybody, apologies ahead of time. I'm a little ragged out from the drive today. But you come over what's called the Altamont Pass, and it drops you down into the Bay Area down there. And all I could see when I came over the hill, the Altamont Pass, it's a couple, I don't know, maybe 1,800, 1,500 feet. I don't know how high it is. Maybe 1,000, maybe 800 feet. But when you came over that hill, all you saw was clouds of rising smoke where lightning strikes had lit up, had caused a lot of fires. So I think that they're still fighting them tonight. But really, I'm kind of glad I wasn't here. I have that checking a local app here of the around the area, and people were talking about it happened about 4:30 in the morning, and people were talking about the thunder and lightning that was. They were talking about how their pets are traumatized now from the terrible thunder and lightning last night. So very, very, very. Thank you, sassy girl. I appreciate that. I don't think we're buffering. I think we're okay here. Should be getting a pretty good signal. If you're coming in, hit the thumbs up button. I'd love to have. Thank you, Danny. Yeah, just got off the get off the road and get cleaned up a little bit. But that's kind of scary. Let me see what this guy said today. This was a local guy here, and I'll tell you, I've had it with the weather. I've had it with cornholio. I've had it with all of this bullshit, I tell you. Let me see, I took a screenshot of with this local weather. Let's see if I got this thing. Yeah, this guy said, this is from Weather West. It said, wild night in the San Francisco Bay Area. This is probably the most widespread and violent summer thunderstorm event in memory for the Bay Area, and it's also one of the hottest nights in years. Convective gusts of 60 miles an hour, enormous amounts of dry lightning. I mean, it must have been a hell of a show up here last night. Yeah, they called it a once in a decade. It was. I'm glad I wasn't here. That would have been very frightening to have gone through that last night. That's just not. It's not something that this area is used to dealing with. We're used to just nothing. We don't get rain in the summer. We don't get thunderstorms. You guys on the East Coast, when I grew up in Baltimore, you would have June, July, August, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the thunderclouds would come in. You'd have a thunderstorm for about a half hour, and then it would pass on or whatever. So I was used to that. Yeah, they filmed it. If you go to ABC Bay Area 7 or NBC Bay Area, they have clips of just continuous, massive lightning strikes and just violent thunder and People just aren't used to that around here. Dry lightning was your nickname. Yes, there's a lot of, yeah, Julia says it was scary in Santa Rosa. That's what they tell me. You like the Harman Kardon? Yeah, that's the twin power up here, right here, the twin power. It's coolest North Carolina, Asheville, 30 to 40 here. Yeah, thank goodness we got rain heading into the heart of our deadly fire season. But the whole, there were just two themes the whole weekend. The whole time I was there. I left on Wednesday. I came back today, got back at about 4:30 in the afternoon, and it was just all about cornholio, all about how Vegas had changed, and all about the terrible, terrible weather. Speaking of Baltimore, they say it's one of the new cornholio hotspots. I mean, are you surprised? Right? Baltimore's famous for its row houses, right? People living on top of each other. If you don't have air conditioning, you sit out on your stoop at night. Kids running around, and it's the perfect place to have in this kind of heat and humidity. It was a miserable place to be in the summertime if you didn't have we didn't have air conditioning. And it would just be miserable. The humidity being next to Chesapeake Bay, it was like a big bathtub there. Yeah, made it home safe and sound. Thank you, Sonny. Look who drug back in. Janet, did you have any of those violent storms in your way this morning? Janet's about 50 miles south, 50 miles to the southeast of me. I'm wondering if she had any of that violence. But I did do it in first class. I'm going to have a lot to talk about. Sounds like spring in Texas. Mark, we're not used to that at all here. No way, no how. We might hear, I've been here since 98. Janet's been born and raised in the Central Valley, Modesto. In summertime, we don't get thunderstorms. We don't have rain in the summertime. So I was talking to some of my neighbors here. When I got back, I was given some of the vegetables, and we got tons of stuff I had to pick today. And they were just talking about, hey, they were petrified at about 4:30 in the morning. Yeah, Janet's had lots of thunder and lightning and little rain. Janet, when I came over the Altamont Pass, oh, thank you, Timothy. When I came over the Altamont Pass, Janet, all you could see was in the distance from the peak. All you could see was areas of fire that were going on. It was really, really freakish. I did stay at the same hotel. I'm going to tear into the hotel in a minute, but I'll tell you, I did not. The neighbor lady was just. We're not used to that on the West Coast here, particularly in the summertime. So very humid. So that's what I came home to. I got a lot of stuff down in the yard I got to pick up tomorrow. Evidently, we got a little bit of rain. I saw some wet spots out on the back deck, and the plants seem to be very, 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 very happy. Maybe this whole climate change. I'm really believing two things. Okay, I'm either believing it's like climate change is a reality that they've been talking about, and it just seems like our high temperatures are moving higher and higher. Our summer highs, our winter lows are higher. That's A. Or B, the possibility, and I heard a few people talking about this down in Vegas, we might be in the end times right now, I'm telling you. Freaky weather and freaky things going on in the world, pestilence and earthquakes and fires and all that. So, that's what I'm thinking, Virginia. I'm thinking. It's a 620 miles. It's a long haul. I wanted to make sure I left early this morning because, hey, Bully, how are you? You never know I dread crossing the desert in the heat. You'll go up to, when you're leaving Vegas, it's like 105 at 7:30. Wasn't that hot. But by the time you get to Baker, then you're like 113 degrees, and by the time you get to Barstow, you're just totally roasting. And I always want to make sure that if I'm breaking down or something, at least I got a good chance of being clear of the desert before the intense. You can die out there. I saw people being carried into ambulances in Vegas because they don't hydrate, and all of a sudden they're just boom. The end times, the seasons would not come as they were. Yeah, more like, hey Chris, how are you? Back from Tennessee, or are you still in Tennessee? Yeah, more. Hey D, how are you? Might have been awesome, but I'm petrified of storms, lightning strikes, and things like that. Hey Sugar Cane, hey BB and John. 4,700. Yeah, you did good, Rich. I'll be checking you out. And Rich Life of Road Trips has been communicating with him, and he's certainly welcome. He might come out and be able to spend a week or two in the area and show him some of the stuff around NorCal. I think that would be a blast. And Chris, my roots are from Asheville, North Carolina, down there, Maggie Valley, and all around there. Cousins in Pigeon Forge, and light it up down there. So. It's good to be back. If the world charged to electric, it would be a start and leave fossil fuels alone. Well, I think we're moving in the right direction. But I learned a couple lessons I'm going to get into in terms of being older in the heat. Seeing people being carried, picked up off on the street where they collapsed. And I'm not talking about street people. I'm talking about tours that, the wife is frantic because the husband just passed out on the sidewalk, and it's unbelievable. I've seen people pass out. Yeah, I saw it 2 times this particular trip. There's not a damn thing to do in the daytime in the summer down there. Not a damn thing to do. Yeah, that's it. I hear you, Chris. But there's not a damn thing to do down there. Let's say you go to the pool, okay? You set up your towel. You can't even walk across the deck of the pool area. You get set up. You lay out for, 4 or 5 minutes. You're roasting. You go burn your feet off, jump in the pool. I mean, I literally have a big-ass blister on the bottom of my foot from the heat on the deck. You jump into the pool. You get cooled off, 5 minutes, you get out, you get to your seat, back in your seat. You don't even get the seat warm yet with your ass in the seat. And already you're like, oh man, I got to get back into the pool. And you got people out there that are drinking like crazy. They're standing in the pool. They're not using the restroom. Cops in Vegas shot a guy in his front yard today over he's going crazy. Yeah, fry eggs on the sidewalk. So I couldn't tolerate any more than 45 minutes up in that. Forget about doing videos and stuff like that. I mean, it's like a survival mode. The worst overlay though with the pollution was terrible. I was telling Mr. Z. I said, why in the hell, I was asking him, why in the hell are my eyes burning so much? You go out on the street and there was just like a gray haze. There wasn't a breeze moving. And my eyes were stinging. And he said, yeah, well, they have a lot of fires down south too, and that smoke is coming up there. So it was horrendous. Yeah, more lightning tonight. Get the drone ready. God, I hope not. I hope not. Oh, thank you, Rhonda. Yeah, thank you. Sounds not great. It's not something I look. It's not something. Not something I like. Let me just take a second to thank my moderators. Great street stream last night. Thank you. My foot held up well. I wore different tennis shoes, different sneakers last night. It seemed to do the trick, so I was able to go about 2 hours without any baby, a Babe Ruth floating around. No, I didn't see that, but you could. Nobody was getting out of the pool. Okay, you know, half you know, half the people in that pool were just whizzing and just sort of like the hell with that, man. I'm not walking across those hot tiles. No way. You know how hot those tiles got up to about 150, 160 degrees on that ground. Yeah, my moderators are wonderful. Cheryl, Jenny, Jen, and Missy seem to be my main three that are around, and I really want to just tell them how appreciative. I plan to do more live streams, but it's just you're almost in survival mode down there. Didn't we have a chlorine cloud over Henderson back in the 80s? You might have. Uh, I'll talk about. There's a lot of things to talk about. There's a lot of takeaways from Vegas, but I'm a little worried about the weather here. I hope we don't shift into some new ass pattern here that's going to make this, besides earthquakes and fires, and now we're going to have violent weather in this area. I remember my friend growing up. I went to not growing. I went to college with him, and he was a Boy Scout, as was I, and he went to New Mexico to Philmont, which is a famous Scout summer camp location, and he would talk about how every year hiking the ridge mountains around Philmont, a couple people would get struck by that, killed by that lightning, that dry lightning on the high ridges and things. So it's very, 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 very scary. That's my, yeah, I do. Hey, Bella Grace, I do have, thank you, J.A. I do have wonderful moderators, and it does not escape my notice that, they pick up flack once in a while, because I run a pretty tight chat over here. I'm not one that believes in just anything goes, because you're here because you're going to hear what I'm talking about in the topics. And drama's great and everything. I did pop into G Mangos the night before I took off. I had a few things to say over there. He was very gracious. But it's not really my cup of tea. I guess after three years of doing that, you just kind of burn out on HK. The Twin Power, anything Harman Kardon from that era is a great unit. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. People are getting meaner and meaner. That's number 2. All right, so in Vegas, the heat, 100 degrees, I'm gold. 105 degrees, I'm gold. 110 degrees, I'm right on the edge. Okay, when you're looking up and you're seeing like the old Binion's hotel there, and they've got the revolving temperature thing on top, and that's that's a shaded area, and that thing reads 114 degrees. I'm no good. I'm no good at that point. Okay, no good. And it's too. I hardly peed. I'm drinking fluids like crazy, and I'm sweating like a pig. Yeah, thumbs up are appreciated. We got a lot of people in the chat, and not a lot of thumbs up tonight. Stay safe and hunker down. Yeah, I hope it'll be okay. You want to travel with me and be my assistant? Was 112 very hot, Rich? It's not comfortable. Not comfortable. And Rich, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to meet up with you. I just didn't have the things I needed to travel with, and I was hoping they would come. But we have a post office action going on. I don't know if you've noticed it. Stuff that I ordered in mid-July came while I was away. Okay? It was held at the post office. I kept following the tracking thing. It was held at the post office for 3 weeks before they delivered it. Okay? Another neighbor talked to the post guys like, yeah, well, nobody's real happy at the post office right now, so things are getting a little backed up. So more weirdness, more weirdness. Yeah, we'll be there, Rich. It was miserable, hard to breathe with those temperatures. My eyes, they have something called Las Vegas eye, and the temperature is so high. And I've been in high heat. I was in Yuma, all down in the deserts of the Southwest. But your eyes dry out so fast because they're moisture, right? The moisture is being sucked out, and you start to feel like you have little grains of sand in your eye. Yesterday, Needles, California, yeah, 122, yeah. Usually love, yeah, I love warm weather, hot weather. Like I said, I'm good. 110 degrees, I'm still high functioning. But above 110, then it's unbearable. So that's number two. The pollution was terrible. It was all trapped. I mean, Mr. Z was doing a job down in Boulder, and when he was coming over the hill from Boulder, and the Las Vegas is down in the valley, and he was talking about how he could just see like a brown gray haze just hanging over, like a bowl just hanging over top of it. That is number, yeah, that's the second thing. It was terrible. Just that, I'm trying to think of the third one. It just went out of my, somebody said, yeah, I do like it hot, but it gets to a point where it's just too crazy. Sticking your head in the oven. Oh, number three. You're thinking to yourself, when that sun goes down, I'm cold. But the problem is all of that blacktop and all of those buildings, all the stonework, all the stucco, all absorbs heat during the day. You can't even sit your ass down on a step outside of a hotel at 10 p.m. at night without burning your ass off because all that heat's being released for the daytime. So it's just it's unbelievable. How you doing, Jen? Near Kingman, it's hot here. We got over 110. Yeah, it was 110 coming through the desert today. Hot at 75. This is and the humidity was slightly up too. Sugarcane. This is just it's. I don't know if you've ever been out west, but it's just a different animal altogether. And I don't know if you've those of you who live in hot areas, High Watch, and I know, hi Amanda, somebody else had mentioned Kingman was 110. It gets so hot that you feel like the little hairs on your, you feel like the little hairs on your arm are standing on, you get the reverse of like goosebumps. You know, you're trying, the body's trying to expand the surface area for cooling, and the little goosebumps start to raise up on your arm and stuff. It's the weirdest damn thing. Yeah, oh, that's good. You slept up there. That was good. All that infrastructure holds tremendous heat. Death Valley, California reaches 130 degrees for the first time since 1913. Yeah, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. We are in global trouble. Okay, I don't know if it's a natural cycle of climate change. I know we've had ice ages. I know we've had hot as hell, but we're in trouble. You probably have low potassium. I came home and ate about 3 tomatoes. Thank you, Cheryl. AC works good. Too old to give a too old to give a shit about it. Now I did get back here and it's 84 degrees, so 81, 91, 100. So it's 30 degrees cooler here than in Las Vegas, but the humidity is higher here. It's negative, and it's the soup. It is. So I was careful. But this heat is. We're going to be at 100 here every day this week, which will be okay. But I don't know how people afford the air conditioning bills that they're racking up. While I was away Friday night they had blackouts here. All of my clocks were blinking, so I know this area was out of power. They had rolling blackouts for a couple hours. You know, Arizona's like 110. Vegas is built in a desert, a huge summer destination. It's also in trouble because they're about to trigger the Lake Mead. They're real close to a triggering event, which is when the level of Lake Mead reaches a certain level. Then by agreement and by contract, they're going to start cutting off like Arizona and reducing their water dramatically. So there's a good chance. Somebody said, will Lake Mead ever fill up again? And probably not, you know, because the drawdown is so great on it compared to the inflow. Yeah, there's a problem. There's a problem. There's definitely a problem. Let's see, a few days ago you were cold, exactly. Put up the swing. Yeah, if I have a chance to, I will. She and her man want to take me up there to Mount Charles. Yeah, I didn't want to bother Vixen in the heat. I didn't want to bring her out. It's just too oppressive. And with the cornholio, you can see the crowds down on Fremont Street. It was, I don't know, it's miserable. Stay in room until later, then go out until 2 or 3. Texas Esther Tozic. Yeah, excessive heat warning. How you doing, Jeffrey? But Rhonda, we could have that as pop-up storms, which always, if we're going to have thunder and lightning, it always seems to hit between like 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning. It's really weird. It's really weird. Death Valley, yeah, Death Valley hit at 130. You'll be dead. Let's say you tried to walk a mile in Death Valley in 130-degree heat, you probably drop dead about the half-mile point. It's terrible. No AC. I'm okay now. I don't really mind not having AC as long as I got a fan. It's okay. Everybody stock up on bottled water. Exactly. How you doing, Gypsy Mom? Haven't seen you on. Yeah, the garden's doing great. I left the pumpkin. Now I got like 3 pumpkins on. Somebody said pinch off the end of the vine so it stops growing. And as soon as I did that, then I left. The first pumpkin was about that big. I got back and it's about that big. It's really cute looking, the pumpkin out there. Yeah, so the garden is doing good. I picked a lot of stuff to give away to neighbors and things. We ever go this? Okay, there it is, Mark. I will not go down again to Las Vegas in summer. I swore last year when I was down in southern Arizona, I thought, okay, it's 105, 108, but 113 is exponentially, 114 is exponentially more dangerous. I think the higher you go, the much exponentially magnitudes greater of danger. So I decided, no, I'm not going to go down in June, July, August, May, maybe late September, October, something like that. But otherwise, it's not worth it. It's not, we're almost in meltdown mode walking along last night, and we came back at like 100 degrees, and it felt like air conditioning was on after being 114. Almost ready to text you. The air conditioner, yeah. Have you thought of at least? No, I'm not going to get an AC unit. Going to be cool. Yeah, cool in September, Rich. Yeah, cool in September should be late September, October. It's delightful in Vegas, but I will not be going down in summertime anymore because I don't have saps the energy out of you. 2 hours last night was about it. I didn't want to press my foot too much, but my foot did pretty damn good. Yeah, Reno is pretty nice in the summertime. Reno is cool, and there's a lot more visual beauty there with the mountains and things like that. But there's really nothing to do in Vegas in that heat. Really nothing to do in the excessive heat, and I really fear for the future of Las Vegas right now. I really do. It's not to be a downer on it, but you can see the confluence of events kind of coming together, which is going to make that potentially a very unlivable place down there. Somebody made a comment in my comment section: is how do they afford to keep those big buildings air conditioned? It must cost a fortune. And my simple answer was they don't. They just don't pay the bill the bill right now. How you doing, Patricia? In my community, A&W closed down. Said we see because they just opened there. Shouldn't we be informed? Yeah, if they did, because of they should be contact tracers. I don't know if they have them in your neighborhood. You don't have to be confused, Irish Ben. Why don't you hit the door and go figure it out in the comfort and quiet of your own home. Have a good night, Ben. Last time I went to Vegas for a whole week, I got bored. Yeah, 4 nights is it. That's my maximum. 4 nights was perfect. But my agenda was good in terms of living the high life and things like that. That was a lot of that was fun. That was fun. I just wish I took my better camera in with me, but I would feel like a dork bringing some big giant. El Chazai, your Vegas trip looked like fun and cinematic videos was really great. The casinos have a lot of money. Actually, the casinos don't have a lot of money. A lot of people think they do because they judge by the magnitude of what they see in front of them. The enormous palaces, gambling halls, and hotels. But take out the convention business. Add in Cornholio for the average over 50 traveler, of which there were hardly any down there, which is the real spenders. And you have a recipe for disaster. They're bleeding red ink down there right now, bleeding. Let's see. Okay, the hotel. You can see the lights from your front porch. Hey, c'est la vie. C'est la vie. I like that. The hotel was the room was wonderful. It was quiet, the grand. It was a very LA crowd though, and I think you know what I mean. There was a lot of gangbangers around. You're not supposed to smoke in the hotel, and they had people smoking weed and just permeating the place. Take care, Jen. All right, thanks for coming in, sweetie. Not paying their bills, and I said we're doing great. I don't know. Convention business is the convention business is it. This is the year I was going to go down to the Consumer Electronics Show and do that. I thought that would be awesome. But the hotel was great. The crowd was off. The only thing I can think of is they must be promoting the hell out of Vegas in LA right now. Because I've never in my life seen such a young crowd. The average age I would peg at about 25 years old down there. And it just, including me, just loaded with low rollers and things. And I guess people pretty impervious to Cornholio. It's all you smell in Vegas. Yeah. No, I thought you. No, Jen. Contact high. I don't mind smelling on the street, but I think that's offensive to people that stay at the hotel to have that reeking through the halls and seeping under the doors. It's a bummer. definitely a bummer. So that's my big takeaway. I'm not going to do a summer Vegas. I wouldn't have been down there anyway, except all the shit's shut down here in California. The coast, there's, parks are closed, the parking lots are closed, the gyms are closed, half the restaurants are shut up, so it's just, I would have been down the Pacific coast. It was weed fam all the way down. There you go. Can you imagine rich life and getting a contact high down there? I'm staying on YouTube, y'all. Let's see. Martin said, live in Greater LA County. All me dog about is going to Vegas. When people trash beautiful places, yeah, the Weed family. But yeah, I wasn't going to even plan to be down there. I'm glad I got out of town and did that. I've never been there. The hotels make it enticing. I think they're giving sweetheart deals out. Not the high level hotels. Although you could have gotten a win for 100 for, I think at first it was $97 a night weekday, which is amazing for the win. Top rated down there, but they put a $50 resort fee. They still have that on there, but you know, like the downtown hotels and things were stuffed in with low rollers. Had great side boob. Yeah, you like that? Yeah. The heat was melting people's brains. Yeah, it was melting people's brains. That's the next point. Meanness. This cornholio virus has started to get into people's heads, and there's an anger building in people's heads that you could tell. Go into a store. I go into the Button Willow, which is on 58, where it meets I-5 there, where I always stop to gas up. Usually a very friendly girl. She's worked there for years, real nice. She was sniping at everybody in that place. Don't touch that. Those, yelling, don't take those hot dogs off. They're not done yet. Can't you read the sign? I thought, oh my God. Every time I went into the 7-Eleven, there was a confrontation. Finally, the third time I went in, I said, I'm going to have my camera ready to go. And bam, the guy steps up to the counter you saw in the morning and just starts going to town. I only got about half of it on the video. And that was filmed yesterday, and I put it on. Then I'm walking this morning to get my coffee and gas up and to do the chooch. And there's some woman, real shrunken, like 50, but the sun has just dried her out, and she's walking out the door cackling. It's weird. and the clerk is like, get out of here now. Go, go, go. You know what our government is doing? Putting homeless people in the deltas in that chain for housing due to the sea. They're making large cash for the damage. I don't know, That dude at the gas station, it was just, that was the third time. And I said, I'm taking the camera. Walked in this morning, and a cackling little woman about 4 feet 5 inches tall is getting the royal boot out of the place. You wonder why I never get sick? I'm breathing in that shit year in, year out, just so exposed to germs and things. He was mad. Evidently, he bought some kind of prepaid thing, and it's like a new scam that they work or something. And he tried to bring it back in and get his get money back or something, or trade it in for another one. And then the clerk, when the camera stopped rolling, she was talking to the other clerk about this is the newest scam in town or something like that. So he kept saying he wanted to exchange it for another one, and she's like, no, you can't. We can't do that. He was yelling at the clerk, not that woman, but a newer guy behind the counter, and he's yelling back. It was tough. Yeah, glad everybody's, yeah. So I don't know exactly what it is. Some new scam they do with prepaid cards or something. I think you get them at a discount, and he tried to get full value back on it. But the manager's real smart there. She's could you imagine? $9 an hour to clerk at that store, with just people treating you like shit coming in all day long. You can almost hear people stuffing packages of potato chips up their shirts and down their bras, and they got to have somebody just full time somebody full-time on the monitors watching the store, and you don't get paid to intervene. Walk out the store, you get 10 people hitting you up for money, and it's just terrible. Definitely a scam. I had homeless begging. Yeah, everywhere you go, there's somebody begging for uh, money. You know? And I gave some out. We had pizza left. I gave a guy on the street the pizza. You know, I have a hard time saying no to people, but there does come a limit. Been to Vegas, man. If you aren't gambling, strip itself with all the live shows. Again, been to Vegas to have a brother with kids out there. Yeah, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to raise a family there. The education system is terrible. Um, you know, the heat. You know, I don't know if it's really conducive to the divorce rates 50% higher than the national average and things. Poor one threatened to call her boss. People, well, what do you think? What do you think, Dandaman? What do you think the odds are that guy was going to pick up a phone on Monday and call? You know, he just tried to kind of bully in a little bit and everything. Hey, Mouse Toes, how are you, sweetie? Yeah, I'm gonna call your boss. Yeah, he'll be in Monday. Yeah, I'm gonna call him up. By Monday, you'll be stoned upside down with your feet up against the side of the building and your head on the sidewalk. You ain't calling anybody. It looked beautiful in Vegas. Your friends are hands, but that heat, way too much. Thank you, Jeffrey. Yeah, at least I got a little bit of pool time and a little bit of pool video, but no more summer in Vegas. That's out the window. It's gone. You know, it's too boring. I want to be when it's 90 degrees is comfortable and all of it. Were you and Monkey Boy in the other table the only folks eating? No, that steakhouse, it was Friday night. And I guess there were about 18 people eating in there at that particular time. That was a 7 p.m. reservation. So I guess there was about 18 people. But a lot of places are still closed down. A lot of restaurants, a lot of uh, clubs are still closed down. Yeah, you give $2 something. You know, last Chromebook school, you get all the kids Chromebooks. I hope so. But the homeschooling, yeah. Elch's eyes had to live in Henderson. Actually, my brother, kids went to pray. Yeah, he's divorced. Get a lot of suicide calls. Um, don't get me wrong. I'm a super fan of Las Vegas. I love Las Vegas. I can just go in there and then leave. Go in. I don't mind the driving, 620 miles. I don't care. Just go shooting. 4 days, bam, just like that. In and out. It's a lot of fun. But as far as living there long term, so I would say private schools. Vegas Vixen's husband went to Gorman, Bishop Gorman, which is a great private school there. Eating in a restaurant, what is that like? I know you're being funny about that, but man, I got to tell you, there's a difference between the average restaurant and the people that work at the really high end places. They have a smoothness to them. You ask them how something is prepared, they don't miss a beat. You ask them about the special, they'll take a full minute to describe everything about it. They'll make recommendations. They'll tell you like this. You order the sides, everything's a la carte, and he'll tell you don't order individual French fries, because one side will serve easily. We didn't even finish half the fries, and had a plate of broccoli about that big, so it was delicious. So the quality of service, except when you get down to the bus people, like the young Mexican gal that's trying to keep the glasses full of water, and she's a little too often. If your water level goes down an inch, she's right back there. That kind of stuff is kind of nerve-wracking. Uh, the dinner was 200 and then a $40 tip on top of that, so it came out to 240. But it'll be a long time before you feel it was like one time we had a drink beforehand. We had the steaks. The steaks were 59 bucks a pop. The sides were 11 bucks a pop. So you add it all in, and you're right up there. That Yeah, the servers are all masked, and they keep their distance from you too. They're not leaning down. They're keeping a good. They're very well trained. They're exceptionally well trained. I think fine dining is almost done. Service special makes the experience. You can't put a price on quality. You can, Cheryl, because you do it all the time. Cheryl S. My Caesars 7 Diamond member. Yeah, it's like 2.5 weeks worth of groceries. Probably like a year of groceries for me. Ramen noodles and salad. But I have a really good memory now. And Monkey Boy, he was heat stroked from working outside all day long. He still showed up with good cheer and had a great time. But we had planned to go down to the Bellagio afterward, but I could not. He would have gone, being up and down and leaning over and down on knees and working. He was just, his hip was hurting him. I knew it. So I couldn't go on with the night. You only live once. Exactly. I mean, Janet and I went to the Boss and Bobby. We went to. I guess I went with Janet and the Boss. We went to Winters, and they had the tomahawk chopped steak. It's called a tomahawk. It's on the bone, and it looks like a tomahawk. They were 70 bucks a pop, and this was 5 years ago. So. This was 5 years ago. It's nice to see. Yeah, once in a while it's going to be In-N-Out Burger. Yeah, that's about what I am, Chris. Anyway, I'm not a fancy eater. I like to get the chili, the Coney Island dogs, and Mr. Z and I had a really nice dinner at the California last night. I had the fish and chips, $11.99. He had the country fried steak for $9.99. It's a great deal. I mean, you're out the door for 20 bucks. You throw a couple drinks on, $24. You're out the door. You're feeling good. You're feeling good. Feeling good. Yeah, he is. Monkey Boy's an exceptional individual. He really is. I mean, he takes a little bit of abuse from who, but he's a very proud. And I'm very proud of Monkey Boy, and he doesn't talk about, Monkey Boy doesn't come out and talk about what he did. I'm the one that always wants to press for information. What was this like? What did you do here? What was it like to be jungle training? And what's the worst thing that ever happened to you? I like to get this stuff on video. This guy doesn't talk about his service. The Boss doesn't talk about his service. United States Navy, electrician, first mate. Bobby doesn't talk about his service except when I talk to him about it. Joey D doesn't talk about his service. So, it's a common theme. That ribeye was good. The lighting was terrible, but it made it look kind of dark, but it was very delicious. It was good. Hi, Nodar. What is it? Notarius? I'm sorry. How did Monkey Boy end up there? He wanted to take up a new line of business. He had been all involved in training, having gone through Army Ranger and then the years as an Army Ranger, and he was very much into bodybuilding. You can see the guy's got a tremendous build on him. And he would train people in LA. He had his own studio where he would train everybody from workout porn stars to movie stars, and he ended up being John Stamos' personal bodyguard from Full House. And then from that, he wanted to kind of dump LA and move to Vegas, so he decided to get into the locksmithing field. So 7-Eleven dogs. I don't eat them after the woman reached into the last year when the woman reached in. Big old woman behind the counter reached down into the refrigerator into the box of cold Franks. Didn't have a glove on. Didn't have anything. She going like this. You think my finger up my nose is bad? Imagine looking at that. She's wiping herself and reaching down there real slow, and a handful, and puts them on the roller things. I'm like, that killed my hot dogs forever. Hey, Adventure Woman, you creeped me out last night. Oh, okay, Sherry Anna, how you doing, babe? They're fun chooches. When you go out on those chooches, especially out Fremont Street, normally I go a little further, but this all ties into the meanness of the streets right now. It's a whole new ball game from last year. It's a whole new ball game. I'm very tuned in to the streets, and the whole mood, the whole tenor of the streets has changed. Much less policing. People in the streets have much more of a feeling of empowerment now, that they can mess with you more, and they don't have to worry about cops, and that's a bad feeling to have in life. So we didn't go as far as we normally. We were going to go all the way down Fremont to Charleston and, the big triangle, but there was no way I was going to push forward down into that area last night. Let's see. Yeah, no glove, no grub. Yuck. She probably touches a lot of money and everything, and she always seemed to have a Coke nose. She was always, doing that. And what you want, baby? Nothing. I guess nobody would eat if we could see behind the scenes at some restaurants. Some restaurants. Like if you're at Vic and Anthony Steakhouse in at the Golden Nugget, which is the premier steakhouse in downtown Las Vegas, from what I read on reviews and things like that, you have a bona fide chef in the back there, and he has line cooks that are working for him, and they're pretty well paid people. And the last thing they would ever want is somebody to poke their head, or they might have a celebrity come in, and hey, let's go back and say hi to the chef. I'd like to meet the chef here. Man, you're gonna walk right in. There's no time to red alert, clean up. You can get busy back there, but I find that very high caliber places have extremely high standards of food handling, because they don't ever want a crappy meal to go out to. Maybe Cheryl will agree with that. There's like 50 homeless down. Yeah, there's tons of them down there. There's tons of them down there. Hello, Diane. There's tons of them down there. So, if you're only making $9 an hour, boss tells you, make sure you get those rollers real clean for that hot dog thing. Yeah, okay. Boss says, are you opening tomorrow? Yeah. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Then you leave, you just turn the lights off. Boss ain't never gonna know, right? Yeah, watch Gordon Ramsay. So, I don't know, Janet. I worked at Phillips Seafood Restaurant in Ocean City, which had, at that time, it was on 21st Street, and it's a big operation. It's half the nation's covered by Phillips Seafood. They supply a lot of frozen food to stores and frozen seafood. And at that time, Bryce and Shirley Phillips, who started the operation, were still hanging around, leeching on everybody in the kitchen, watching everybody. And they had 5 kitchens in that restaurant. 5. They would serve like 3,000 meals a day. 3 kitchens downstairs, full kitchens. 3 full kitchens downstairs and 2 full kitchens up on the 2nd floor. And they were meticulous about constantly going around and scolding people and wiping off, making, if a little bit of grease spilled on the floor, they were, they called the janitor guy, was right there, Johnny, on the spot. I mean, they took great pride in what they were doing there. Yeah, thumbs up or appreciate. It'd be nice to get to 100 thumbs. Be nice to get to 100 thumbs tonight. That would be awesome. Good to see Sherry Anna in here tonight. Lovely Sherry Anna. Sherry Anna, did I hear you sold your RV? Yeah, I gotta have Rich Life down in Vegas and stick him in one of those suites. What do you think, huh? Man, Rosie, this is living the high life. Damn, look at that view out there. Hey, Linda Lou, how are you? Nice to see you. Always wanted to eat at the legendary steakhouse atop Binions. Yeah. Cheryl, I'm not ragging on you, but it's nice to have money. You know what I mean? If you can even entertain the thought of doing that dinner I had like 4 or 5 times in a Vegas trip, I want to shake your hand and tell you, job well done. That's the kind of thing for me. It's like you climb to the top of the mountain, you enjoy the view, and then you're good to go for the next couple of years on that. Oh, that was Linda. Okay, glad you made it home safe. Hey, Harley, too friggin' hot. That'll be my last hot weather trip to Vegas. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Just not fun. I was hoping to make it down there to meet Rich, but things just didn't come together because of the post office here. So, hey girl, chores ran late, so I'm late. Vegas videos were awesome. Thank you, Teeny. Thank you. I think I covered off things pretty good in content-wise. A little mix of live stream. I hadn't done a morning live in a long time, and I decided to go out Friday morning and do it was a Saturday morning, yesterday morning, and do a live. Man, I was melted down. I was in the shade, and it was already like 110 degrees at like 10 o'clock, something crazy. Yeah, thank you guys for the thumbs up. Are very appreciated. Now, on the way home today, I left early at 7:30 because I wanted to try to be clear of the desert by about 11 a.m., 11 maybe noon or so. So I had clicked on Witty Widows Hangout, and of course she can talk for 6 hours nonstop bullshit. That helped get me across. That helped me get to more than halfway home listening to her hangout. But I ran into a Corvette cruising club. I guess they were cruising from Barstow to Mojave, which is 50 miles or something like that. And there was maybe 30 Corvettes, and they were all following each other. It looked really cool. But then there's trucks there, and they're trying to keep the line continuous, but I'm trying to get around the truck, so I pulled between a couple of the Corvettes there, and all of a sudden it was like hitting a bee's nest. They're starting to go crazy, and people are looking at. There's a whole line of vets, and in the middle of it, there's a raggedy-ass panel van. Little rascal in the middle of all these beautiful $100,000 Corvettes and stuff, and I'm just tooling along, and people are coming. The other vets are coming out to the slow lane and coming up to me and gotta move over. It's like, hey man, there's trucks there. I'm not gonna sit back here. Slab City, yeah, Crafty, yeah, my leg is doing good. I switched up the shoes I wore. I stopped wearing those black shoes with the lightning things that Dave the fisherman had given me. I appreciated the gesture, but I don't think they gave me the proper support. So I took my Adidas down this time, and I'll tell you, I felt pretty damn good after 2 hours of walking yesterday. The pool used last year. The pool was open 24 hours a day. Now it closes at 7:30. It opens at 10 a.m. and closes at 7:30. Yeah, I messed the vibe up cruising, and I'm, they're coming up. The guys coming up next to me. Hey, move over. Like we got a parade, a parade. Like, you think I'm sitting out here in the desert while you guys are having your little cruiserama here? Man, I got bigger fish to fry than this shit. But I wonder if the casual observer saw that, and there's the white panel van in the middle of the line. More people live in tunnel. Better not tell. Right? Yeah, I won't go down there. I've had a lot of people that, yeah, a lot of people tell me to go down there, but I won't do that. Hello, Will Smith. Greetings from Santa Fe Springs, California. Welcome aboard, Will Smith. Thank you. I'm talking about the metal that you tan into, and what does that mean? Metal that you ran into and scraped it. Oh, over here. Yeah, it's okay. Didn't pierce the skin, thank God. I had a lot of scares last night on that chooch. I'm looking over this. All of a sudden, I shine a light on the garbage, and it's like a roach fiesta in there. Oh God. How you doing, Joni Portwood? Nice to see you. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to grab a yogurt real quick. I'll be right back. Oh, that was nice to be out shooting last night, though. But I'm very appreciative of Mr. Z and Monkey Boy for taking the time to go around with me. It's not fun for to haul around when you live there. But when somebody goes into a 7-Eleven and you got to worry in some of those gamey neighborhoods, and you saw that guy kind of try to drop my shit outside the 7-Eleven. But you never know how those things are going to go. Thank you, Craig. The roaches were like that down on that pile. Well, maybe like somewhere in there they were. And I had like the leader of the gang kept trying to assault me and coming out from the pile. The alpha roach kept coming after me. The alpha roach. It felt good to come home to the rancho. It was very hot and humid when I got here today, but I'm pretty doggone comfortable right now. I think it's about 84 degrees, which is 30 degrees cooler than yesterday. If you ever watched the movie, they were big, they were gross. Like, what the hell happened to the Las Vegas hostel? Somebody took a big dump right on the step. I almost stepped in that last night. But that was like the premier hostel, and like looks like might be closed forever. I don't know. I was a bit late joining. Did you see any bees, or did they move? I didn't really check the bees today. I'm sure they're still there. Yeah, Monkey Boy and Mr. Z were awesome. Monkey Boy starts his days very early to try to beat the heat. And Friday night, you could tell he was sun-baked when he arrived. He was ragged out, still with the good spirit, showed up. Once we got in the restaurant and did the Golden Nugget, he perked up. It was good. But there was no way I could say, hey, now let's go on to the Bellagio so I can do, you know, I was going to do shopping down the Colonnade, going into the Tiffany store and looking at the. That would have been pretty cool. Oh, little flying roaches, Linda. Ooh, I think not. High watch. Big changes are coming to Vegas. I think a lot of people are rethinking their concept of vacation. What's going to happen is they're going to turn Las Vegas into a value place again, and that's gonna degrade it, in my opinion. You're going to eventually have, I don't want to say gang stuff, but you're going to start to have fights downtown, and uh, you're going to start. I'm predicting there's going to be stabbings down on Fremont Street, and it's the people looked rough. Okay, it looked like definitely a L.A. Compton kind of crowd. Okay, and stuff's going to hit the fan down there, and it's going to hit the papers, and it's gonna be tough. Good night, Sugar Cane. Much love to you. Yeah, Mr. Z. I only travel with the good-looking ones. That's it. There was a very minor, very pulled back police presence compared to every other time I've been down there. Much less aggressive, much lower profile police presence down there. That was remarkable. When I was down there in March and then back in May, cops be, if you farted too loud, the cops would be putting you up against the front of the car or standing in front of the hood there. So personally, I'm always worried being on Fremont. I love it down there, but all of a sudden it got really rough. It looked like the kind of people that could be very agitated very quickly, and you could have a really bad full-on riot down there on Fremont sometime with the heat and the cornholio and the masks. And wearing a mask, let me tell you too, wearing a mask in 114 degrees sucks. Absolutely sucks. Okay, it adds to the heat factor. Yeah, they're only going after major stuff. They've done a layoff. Police started with all. Yeah, they've laid off some people from Metro. They got big budget problems down there. Will Vegas will always be there. I'll be interested when Cheryl finally gets down there, what she thinks about it. She's a high roller, but you could tell this was a totally different crowd. You could probably see it on the video. It was just totally young. Very few people over the age of 50 years old. RV sale 90% on that. Not enough parks. I don't want. That was the big problem, Sherry, about what RVs is. Do you want an RV in your neighborhood? You want an RV park in your neighborhood? Nobody want an RV park in their area. They're thinking of Friday night Budweisers and drunken mayhem. You can sell the hell out of the RVs, but they got to be able to go someplace. Walmart's starting to cut people off. Okay, because people abuse the privilege of setting up camp at Walmart. Yeah, you're going to have a real dire shortage of places to take an RV. Yep. Been putting a lot of use to hit the middle of nowhere. Yeah, that's a good place to be. Hey Alex, Rosie, I wanted to go to the Heart Attack on Store, the place where you can go eat and address your all nursing. I want to go that. Did you see Rich Life? Rich Life, you don't weigh 350 pounds. Over 350 pounds eats free. And if you don't eat all of your food, they're going to spank you right there. That's right. You had a heart attack real. Last night on Fremont, it was Saturday night, I really got the sense. I was expecting any minute that like fights break out because of the intensity of the crowd, the young age, and the hair trigger of people. And a lot of people still didn't have masks on. Much less police presence this time. Weather stream been happening, can run in cycles. You move. Yeah, I don't know, Darren. I'm torn on global warming, climate change versus cycles, long-term cycles. But I know we've pumped a shitload of carbon into the atmosphere, and they're still building coal-fired plants in China and India. So, you know, is the air getting cleaner? On balance, it may not be getting dirtier because of more electric, but just growth. Yeah, you're not that much Rich Life, so while you're both in the Jacob Lay, he was on Fremont near Binions, and a purse was robbed. Yeah, you got to be very careful down there. Yeah, very careful. So that's what I was very careful because you know me, I'm not used to carrying. I had my Coach purse with me, and you don't sit your purse on the table at fine dining places. You either sit it on the back of your chair or on the chair next to you. And I told Monkey Boy, you only got two prime directives for this campaign. Number one is have a good time. Well, three. Number two, order what you want. And number three, make sure I don't forget my purse. Okay? Because, you know, I've lost shit before on the road. Saw a gorilla in the 1980s later. I can't even watch that crap. You know, going on there, you said talking about it, it said it's, oh, no problem, Rich. No worries. No worries. Future travel plans. That's my wrap on Las Vegas. Future travel plans. I still dream of going down the Pacific Coast. Highway, we're going to play it by ear. Like many of you, I sort of imagined that things would be getting better by this point. But in California, what do they have? 76,000 new cases over the last week or something like that. Things are getting worse here. They're not getting better. So I'm not quite sure what it means. It's going to be more targeted day trips. But I can't go inland. I'd like to go to Sacramento. I'd like to meet Sean the Brit and hang out in Sac, but I'm not going to go there when it's 110, 111, 112 degrees. I'm not going to do it. So I might go up the coast a little bit or something. I'm going to do some stuff. You text that talking to my phone. No problem, Rich. Well, I'm welcoming Rich in here. You just get used to the way the chat is run. But I think it's important to have a place you can come in the chat and you know, just talk stuff and don't have to have drama and all that. So I still hope to do that. But yeah, Sugarcane, you have a good one. You have a very, very good evening. So sad. Turn the world. Take care, Rosie. See, share. No, it ain't gonna be trouble, Rich. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Just things will fall into place here, Rich. Don't worry. Don't worry. The mods do a good job here. I know you're talking into your phone and stuff. So, hey, how you doing, April? With that, I am a little ragged out, guys. I am gonna close this out now, but I want to thank you for your kindness once again on the trip. You guys are wonderful. Uh, all the wonderful support, all the people on the live streams, and people coming in tonight. My wonderful moderators. You guys have really done so much to make this a nice place to hang out, and proof positive that you don't have to be talking about the drama to pull people in. I'll say it again, I enjoy the streams, drama streams, but for me, they're not really my cup of tea as far as running them. But I want to give you guys a big thank you. So I will see you tomorrow. I think I'll do a morning stream tomorrow. Kind of feeling that a little bit, so I don't feel like going around. But good to see you, Sherry Anna. Take care. And Linda Lou, too. Patricia Wakefield, everybody else. Teeny, everybody else. Thank you, Cheryl, my moderators. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday and stay safe. And if you're in the Bay Area, be careful of violent lightning strikes. Okay, could be coming again tonight. Thanks, everybody.